Welcome to Date with DANU right here on Hi TV, your luxury channel. Today is a very special program. We're going to be speaking about a family bond that's super strong, and if you have not seen it, they have even done videos on TikTok. One cool mama and one fabulous daughter. Let's get on with the show.
Hi, I'm Otara, and I'm here with my mom, Delysia, and we're here, of course, to do an interview with DANU. And I've known DANU for many years, and of course had the pleasure of doing interviews with him for many years. And after a long break, I'm back to do another one with him, and of course with my mom, because we want to talk about her school and all what she's done over the years. So we look forward together to going on a date with DANU.
And so I'm happy to have Delysia and Otara. This is the tricky name here, so I have to say it very carefully. Delysia, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for asking me.
We have been trying to do this for at least a month or so, or like
More
2
than
months,
that.
yeah. And I called Otara and I was like, oh my God, I really want to have you and your mom because she just celebrated her 90th
90th
birthday.
birthday.
That's amazing. And also the fact that you do TikToks makes it so much more cooler.
Not really. I think
You
she's
have
done-
forced her into one or two,
I
right?
got her to do one or two some
Yeah,
time back.
Yeah.
I had no say.
Nothing
because I was
regular at all.
Taken.
You were taken hostage by her.
That's right.
Yeah, no choice. But actually, Otara is very consistent on her social handles, which is amazing. You know, sometimes we forget, we're like, oh, are we bothered? But yeah, it helps to be relevant. So you will know her from the school, Chitralane School, which has done immense work and remarkable work for helping children who have Down syndrome and special
needs.
and at the same time educating the way they need to be educated and finding that art of teaching. What made you start this school?
Well, actually, it was an accident. Otara loves animals.
I thought you were going to say like Otara was an accident.
No, Otara, Otara loves animals. I am quite passionate about children.
That's amazing.
And I have been that from practically the day I was born. My dogs used to be considered a child, and I used to put them in the doll's cot and put them to sleep.
Right. So this comes from, it has been passed down generations.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, not that I don't love animals. I do love animals.
Yeah.
Very much. But my passion is with children.
Right. And this sort of encouraged you to start Chitralane School.
No, actually, I wanted to do something with, either adoption or nutrition or some medical issues or something like that, but I couldn't get into that because lots of the organizations are involved in that.
Right.
So Otara was a very, very quiet girl, and I put her to a Montessori school 1 year before she went into ladies' college.
Right.
And I used to sit with her. And then I asked the principal of that school whether she knew of any opening.
Right.
Then she told me, why do you want to look here and there? Here, I have these children, I don't know what to do with them. I mean, I had never seen kids with special needs before. So, I mean, I myself was amazed, and I came back home and I told my husband, and I said, I'm frightened to do this. He said, what are you frightened about? If you don't know anything about it, go and study it. That's all you have to do. Libraries are there, courses are there, and just study it. So that's what I did. And then 56 years ago, I started this. Otara was 4.
It's amazing.
Started with 2 children.
Yeah. And I think, one of the most important things that we need to understand with kids who have special needs or even autism is the fact that as a family, you need to accept it first and then give them the love and affection. If you're in denial, it's one of the hardest things.
Actually, you see, the thing is, you've got to accept people as as people, as children. It's like your 5 fingers of the hand. There's no 2 fingers that are the same. You see? I mean, you can't pull this up to become this or push this down to become that, or, you know, that type of thing. So just accept it like your hand, fingers of your hand.
I've always understood that, Otara, you're a very, what can I say, you're an introvert, but you get thrown out in this industry that you have chosen, the life that you lived as a model, then to an entrepreneur, to where you are. Everything very heavily depends on you being out there, speaking, raising your voice for things. How do you put yourself through? Because I know up to date, if you can just sit there and not be disturbed, you'll be happy to do that. But how did you push yourself for that? Was it your mum who?
Yeah, actually, it's quite opposing combination. Actually, you're very right. But from my childhood, I've been very, as she said, very quiet and very, you know, very private and very quiet. But from my childhood, I've also been very much out in the forefront, because even in school, you know, I was an athlete, I was a ballet dancer, and even in those roles, I was always like leading and in front, and so always very visible. But you know, honestly, they never pushed me to anything other than piano lessons, which my mother insisted I do.
And did you master that? That's the very thing you did.
Absolutely hated it. And so that's the only thing I didn't like. But and everything else, I mean, she did introduce me to ballet, and then I loved it. And the sports was, of course, through school. So yeah, throughout, and then of course I became a model. So that's right there in front of the cameras,
all lights,
all lights. And then, you know, Adele, and then of course speaking for animals, and you know, being a voice for them, and trying to bring change in that. So yes, I mean, somehow it's happened that way, and obviously there's a reason it's happened that way. I don't question those things on our path of life. But yeah, I mean, and everything I've always done with my heart and with great passion. So, you know, I choose things to do which I'm really passionate about and which I believe in and which I can make a difference in.
What's amazing is the fact that she could be 90 and Otara could be... the mum-daughter combination still remains. She went first in search of her bag. Then she said the phone. She's like, Otara, the phone is with me. And you know what the mum said? I have to still look after her, so. We're getting into a segment that I really love. It's called Hot Seat. Let's get it. Hot Seat is made possible by our friends from Crystal Luxury Wellness, where you can always go for professional advice and also getting the right treatment for your hair, body, you name it, they have it all. They have something amazing called Elixir Clinic. You should try it because it really does work wonders, and it's internationally so recognized, and they brought it down to Sri Lanka. All right, we're speaking to the mother-daughter combination, and I have a few questions I need to ask. Otara, this is for you. A famous word your mother says when she's angry.
I told you. I told you and you didn't listen. I
Up
don't
to
know.
now.
I'm not really sure, but that came up. So
I told you that. I told you.
For Mama. A bad habit of Otara that you had no choice but put up with when she was growing up.
Eating too many chocolates.
Really? And you remained like this?
Yeah. God, she was a chocolate addict.
It's funny, actually, I thought that's what she would say. And she did say that.
And are you still someone who needs to have like something sweet every day?
No, I've gone past that now, but yeah, I was a real chocoholic.
But she still loves to nibble, though.
That doesn't. Discipline, I tell you, discipline. Someone you feel should be styled by Otara.
Oh my God. Oh, that's a difficult question to ask. I think there are many people who could be styled by her.
Yeah, might be helpful as it for us.
Well, I mean, I was given the opportunity to offer different options of style to people through the business. So, yeah, I think each one has their own style and they're perfect as they are.
It's kind. I'm giving you options. Who do you feel is well dressed according to the both of you? Lasit Malinga, Mahela, Harin Fernando, Ranjan Ramanayaka.
All are. Like I said earlier, each one
very
has their
diplomatic, aren't they?
own
Very
style.
diplomatic.
Yeah, but it's true. You can't go to judge anyone, and each one has their own style. And
No, but if
and each
your
one stands
favorite
out.
style out of all? No?
All.
I think each one dresses to suit themselves and to please themselves. I mean, that's what I do.
I should get Mama alone.
I don't worry about what somebody else thinks.
Yeah, it's easier that way. If there's one piece of advice you would give to all the upcoming presidential candidates, what would that one advice be?
These are like some really
Be honest.
very difficult questions. Not difficult. Be loving and caring of everyone.
Well, I'll say the winner is the mother.
Oh, these are test questions.
Test questions, test questions.
Not fair.
Not because I told you that is a test afterwards. I feel like you alone would have answered all these questions.
I think so. and she's the one who says this is her first interview, and she's been
That's
telling
what I
me this is
told
my
him.
first
Yeah.
interview.
But you don't feel like you're at an interview, no?
No, because you're making it fun.
Time for a break. We'll see you on the other side. Just stick around. This is Stay Put. Hot Seat is made possible by our friends from Crystal Luxury Wellness, where you can always go for professional advice and also getting the right treatment for your hair, body, you name it, they have it all. They have something amazing called Elixir Clinic. You should try it because it really does work wonders and it's internationally so recognized, and they brought it down to Sri Lanka. Welcome back to the show. We are speaking to mother and daughter combination on the show. Now, growing up, were you a strict mom?
No, when you say strict, I never shouted at them, I never beat them, but I told them what's right and wrong. And I think that's worked.
When Otara was this very soft, quiet, not so much out there kind of a girl, and when you saw her blossom into what she was becoming, did it surprise you, or did you think, I always knew she had it in her, she just didn't show
No,
it?
it surprised me because I never pushed her, and she did what she wanted, she did.
Right.
And we never stopped her from, doing what she wanted.
Now, we have always heard this story about Odell and O coming from Otara. And where does the Del part come from? Del is here. So Del was your nickname or your love name from your husband?
Yeah.
He just couldn't be bothered saying the whole thing.
And from a lot of friends call me Del.
Right.
You know.
How did you all meet? And how did this name come about?
The
For him
name.
to call you Del.
No, so my name was Delysia, so they shortened it to Del.
Easier, no?
Yeah.
It's easier to argue as well. Delysia. Okay, I forgot I was trying to say something.
No arguments.
So tell me about your life with him and how it was. And I have seen phenomenal photographs of the two of you.
Yeah. Well, we were next door neighbors.
Oh, Love?
Yeah.
At that time, love is a huge thing. No, like today, love is what people want. Well,
Yeah.
those days, we'll find you a suitable. But who asked who first? Did he make the move or did you make the move?
We both moved together, I think. I mean, we were like, we
All
grew
from the
up
time you
like
were very
brother
small,
and sister,
right.
because he was my brother's best friend. And, he used to jump over the wall and come for dinner and, playtime and stuff like that. So, he was more with us than in their house.
Right.
And the funny thing is that both her brother and my father both had the same name, Norman Gunewardene.
Oh, right.
Gunewardene,
Yeah.
and spelt exactly the same,
Same way.
So, there's a lot of Gunewardene,
And
but
spelt
spelled in
identical.
different ways.
But it's one thing to be your brother's friend, but eventually it was a bit like, oh, she's now looking fine. So, and you all got married, and tell me about this union of marriage, which has now become, the whole, there's one thing about somehow trying to make a marriage work, that's a different story, but finding that person does not exactly need to be on paper. How was it when you found that person?
Well, I mean, we grew up together. So, I mean, it was like, continuing the family right through. So it was much easier than an arranged marriage. And I knew his parents very well. I knew his brother and sister very well. You see? So, it was very easy. And our families knew that from me. His father was a doctor, my father was a doctor. So they knew each other very well.
So a lot of similarities sort of
Yeah.
kept you going.
Yeah.
And when you went for your studies in terms of making this school a reality or helping these kids, and when you came to Sri Lanka and you started this kind of a place for children with special needs to come forward and study, what was the feel like? Were people free? Were they willing to bring, or they were like, no, my child is fine, there's nothing wrong with him
No,
or her?
actually, I started it within a Montessori school
Right.
with their students who were there.
So back in the
Started-
days, kids went
so
to the same
kids went to
Montessori.
that Montessori school anyway.
Right.
But then I felt it, the demand was there and I needed more staff, more equipment, more space. And then I had two of my friends who helped me with funding and getting places and things like that, which I was very bad at, because I'm not a very social person, you see. So they did that for me.
Right.
And the three of us started this little place in in Bagatella Road.
Yeah, that's where it originally started.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we, registered it as a charitable organization. We got government approval.
And how many kids are currently in school?
At the moment, we have actually 3 sections. We have a resource center which caters to about 1,000 kids through the year, because they come for classes, they go
Go back
come,
home, yeah.
and that type of thing. Then we have the school itself, which has about 225 kids, and that's full time. And then we have an academy, which we train outside people, and we have also got this NVQ 1, 2, 3, 4, and they can get that by following our courses,
Right, okay.
and that qualification is recognized
Worldwide.
all worldwide.
That's remarkable. And actually, there are a lot of people who do like programs, they go entertain these kids. I was part of once a little dance routine that a set of boys and girls put together. And it's amazing how, what is amazing is the fact that they're so innocent in their thoughts. So for them, it's that moment. They enjoy that moment to the fullest. And when you look at that, you wonder, what are we stressing out about? Because it's just so satisfying. And if you do want to spend time like that, you can do that. Do you sort of filter of the things that, you know, outsiders could come and do there? Because sometimes, you know, a lot of people would like to contribute. Like, is there is like a yes and a no level?
Yeah, we have, I mean, people, volunteers who will come and help us. Then we have mainly paid staff who work, and they are trained by us.
Yes.
But a lot of people who come on a voluntary basis also get the training, and then they go abroad.
From that, let's speak about this O and the Del coming together as our priceless moment. Moments are always priceless when you have a MasterCard in your hand. Make transactions so much more easier, make all those romantic evenings so much more pleasant. Thank you to our friends who make moments last forever. MasterCard joining us on the show, and at the same time, their promotion and some great deals that you can follow. You can now follow them on their social handles for more details. Now, talking about priceless moments, I have always, I have known that it's a merge of many things, but it's something that someone thought of that eventually ended up being a brand that is just so significant to Sri Lanka. Oh, Del. So this was like a discussion at home. How did this name come about?
No, it was my father, actually. No real discussion, but my father is the one who actually created it.
Right.
Because he, you know, I was a biologist. I had finished my education in biology, and then I was modeling and doing all the fashion things. And he said, oh, you know, it's nice you can model and do all those things, but you know, why don't you think about like doing something else, like starting a business or try something like that.
Even after you doing your bio and everything?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he kept saying that, and then he had also created the name.
He has already created a name by
Yeah, he had created a name.
I was thinking whether you were thinking at that time, Lalita, Libani.
Yeah, so it was obviously Odell, and so like she said, he used to call her Del. That was his name for her, and my second name is Del as well. So it's Otara, and my second name is Del.
Who is Adele when we have Adele?
So basically that's how it came together and how it began. And I started with selling, with creating T-shirts, like for companies. I was doing, you know, all these like corporate gifts, and then went to factories and took stocks and started selling it to my friends who were.
Do you still have that car, that one that you were selling things?
I did, but it's I don't have it anymore. It kind of fell apart, even though I should have. It was a bit hard to maintain,
yeah,
so I don't have it now.
Finding a space, it's not a small thing as well. You have to find a space to keep
it.
So I understand. It can be. Have you ever? Did you ever? What did you think she will become? When she did ballet, when she did sports, then when she did bio?
Well, she was a very good ballet dancer. And I thought, you know, probably she'll continue that. But then she got sidetracked with the business and stuff like that, and went into modeling, and then into fashion, and then the business.
Modeling at that time was a super time of Sri Lanka.
Yeah, actually it was amazing. In fact, just yesterday I shared some of my old modeling photos because I found a lot of them, but I was clearing up, and I've been doing a small series of, you know, like flashback series.
Flashbacks, yeah.
And so it was a time when it was in the 80s. So it was a time when there were lots and lots of fashion shows, like really huge productions and shows, and there were many, and you know, and a lot of ad campaigns, and so it was quite it's quite thriving at that time, and there were a lot of big productions with hair shows and many things. It was really fun, and I really enjoyed it and loved it. I met so many nice people who are still friends today, And it was a wonderful time for me.
Amazing. Time for a break. We'll come back and speak about this love they have for dogs. Because every picture that you see her from small days, there's always been somebody with 4 paws running around somewhere. We'll speak more when we do come back. If you're into looking fabulous, here's an option for you. With Shirtworks, our friends really do give you so much of options to choose from. Now with EB's array range of fabric, you can pick a shirt that really brings out your personality because they can stitch it and really fine-tune it and give you a look that you'll definitely enjoy. So do not worry about those curves. They have so much for you to choose from. Shirtworks. Welcome back to the show. So this love for animals, I come from a home like that, so I know we've always had dogs and people have come into asthma issues that your lung is going to get infected. Well, we're kind of living still, maybe on the edge, but yet we're still surviving. But you have had all types of dogs. You have had Dalmatians, Poms. I think I saw a picture with a Pom.
We had, yes, one actually when I was very small.
Yeah.
And
So many Poms, I tell you. An afternoon snooze and they bark, you feel like you've gone to heaven. Ah! We had 2 at one point. The choir was a terrible choir. So these dogs were a part of it. Who was the animal lover at home?
We all were actually, as a family we loved animals, but I was the one who was a little bit more extreme. Not extreme, but I was the one who was extremely passionate and always talking about animals and always wanting animals, and they were all very very accepting of it, and yeah, so we had at one time like ducks and rabbits and then I used to rescue squirrels, you know, when they fell into the house or the garden, and sometimes birds, if they got injured, you know, we would treat them and then release them. Yeah, and just actually yesterday I showed her I asked her a question about something, an old photo that I found, and then she said, yeah, you used to have, your bed used to be covered with stuffed animals when you were, and I remember that actually I used to put all the stuffed animals around me, and I used to think I was like in the best place ever with all these animals.
But you know, like our mom, although she loved animals, she never showed it to us because we'd have brought everything that moved outside into our house. How were you? Were you like okay, now enough petting, go home now, enough?
No, we always, I mean, even as children in our house, we always had dogs and cats. Dogs mainly, but not cats. My mother had a phobia about cats.
Ah, okay.
So
I don't blame her, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Have a mind of their own.
But now Otara has got 4 dogs, 2 cats, and 1 monkey.
I know this monkey. Is he like yours, or has he just come
No,
and
he
made
just
himself at home?
arrived. Yeah, he just arrived, and he's happy there now. So he lives free, and
In the garden.
In the garden, and he goes to other places and neighbors, and he has some place he goes to, but he's around.
In the mornings he's there when you open
and
the
he's
eyes.
got really friendly, and yeah, it's really cute actually.
But the cats or dogs are not allowed to kill or attack
Squirrels
rats, cockroaches, lizards, or anything.
How did you teach them this?
So she taught them that.
Yeah, to
She
speak to
just
them.
told them, that's naughty, you can't do that.
And they don't.
Yeah.
No, and they don't.
No, and then
sometimes it's a bit stressful.
Then
when the cats
before it is killed, she takes and puts them away.
So yeah, we're very watchful, and Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, of course, it's their instinct, and that's
Yeah,
how they are. But of course, they don't have a reason to do it when they live amongst us. So
Yeah.
we have to change, and you have to speak to them and explain to them and tell them.
But I must tell you, my dogs and my cat, there can be a rat that walked over my cat. My cat will be like, what was that? Let's go to sleep now. Because he has no reason to have ever fought and found a rat in his life.
That's right.
Useless fellow. He's just
No,
cat
he's a-
by appearance.
No, he's a good fellow.
He has not done anything. Our dogs will be like, if there's somebody who comes to rob our house, all what they say is, wow, 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 take everything you want. Leave us alone, take them as well if you want, but just let us be. I'm telling you, they'll do nothing. So, yeah, I'm telling you, we know how it feels. Time for a break. This is a bit of a fun game. These ones look, don't you all think they look very innocent to play this? They don't. Thank you to our friends at Smack for joining us on the show. Smack is a brand that is so affiliated with Sri Lanka, just like how Odell is like one of our brands. Smack is also one of our brands that have been loved, that has been enjoyed over the years. From the 80s, we have had this refreshing glass of juice that we think, wow, that's so good. And when we were going to school, we collect money to buy a Smack. And here is the best part. Smack really celebrates everything Sri Lankan, from how much they give back to the communities, from where they source their fruits, and how they keep the seasonal fruits coming out and surprising you. I'm telling you, I've got the offer to sort of go and see how things are done, and it's beautiful. Just to get their aloe vera drink out, they have a huge army of people who are in charge of just cleaning it and getting the jelly out of it. And this is actual process so that you know that you're having the best. With no artificial coloring, it's definitely a great, refreshing drink. And at the same time, they've introduced so many great, amazing things under their brand. Do check them out. And we have Smack on board. Right, we have questions. Now, these are a bit, they're all innocent, huh?
We can say pass, right?
All right, here we go. I absolutely love holding your buns all day. What am I? Very innocent. Just think upper part of your body.
I absolutely love holding your buns all
A
day.
raisin.
Raisin,
He's in a bun. They like
not
whole-
that bun. It's like a bun that you have. Hair tie.
hair bun.
That's a point for her.
Okay, wait, we're not doing so well
What's
so far.
the biggest thing a man has in his trousers that a lady doesn't want on her face?
What are these questions?
You can't think dirty. You know, sometimes I have to.
His handkerchief.
That is also true, but it's actually the wrinkle on the pant.
Good
see,
one.
see, see.
Wrinkle.
Huh?
Wrinkle.
Right. Now this, I'm sure, Auntie, you're going to get it in the first go. Set me on vibrate when you want some alone time. What am I?
The phone alarm.
Yes.
The what?
Correct. The mobile phone.
Phone.
Yeah. I'm hard and hairy on the outside and soft and wet in the inside. What's inside me tastes great in your mouth. What am I? Sri Lanka has a lot of it.
Rambutan.
Yes, it's coconut, but yeah.
It was close.
Well done. Actually, I think, Mum, you win it. You at least got one right.
Well, she got something, right?
Yeah, actually you did. But that's after a lot of clues given. Huh? Can't take the mind into the gutter a little bit even. To do. Time for a break after this. Petals by Hassa joins us on Date with Danu to give our guests something to take back home. Now, you can now do some amazing decor, even arrangements all put together by Hassa. Now, what's amazing about Petals is the fact that these flowers, they are so austere, and at the same time, they really do believe in giving you value for money. You can now come to know all the arrangements and the different varieties that they have on their social handles, and also make those bookings right now for your special day, because you are definitely in for a surprise with the amount of creativity that he and his team can put together and give you. Thank you, and this is for our lovely ladies today on the show. Let me just move this way. That's for you, Aunt. Sorry, I couldn't get up on that. We have more, but thank you so very much to Petals by Hassa. Let's hear it from someone who has over 50 years, 56 years of experience in this field. Now, we know that I studied in a normal school at St. Peter's, and we had 46 students in my class, and all 46 of us not the same. There were these 5 or 6 who used to always fight for the first to the 5th place, and we are not the first. I could never have that conversation. I'm like, okay, I'm not the last this time. I'm just one before the last. And you know, everyone is so different, but we all end up studying the same education system. And for me, up to now, if I see a math book, I'll run backwards and never return, because it's so traumatizing. That's because we were not given the privilege of being taught in a way that I could understand. I was just taught in the way that the system was made. But now, for kids who have special needs, or even who are on the spectrum a little bit, could learn and master their craft, and most of the times these kids are very, very talented, but it's just that on a normal setting you will not see them fitting into the right mold. I'm sure you would have come across a lot of parents who have forced their children to get into normal schools or to international schools, and these kids really do suffer because they go through bullying, they go through harassment, and you know, name calling. All of this happens. Tell me about how if there are parents who have realized and come, and does Chitralayan School also sort of help kids with autism?
Sorry?
With autism?
Yeah, you see, the thing is, we all have autism in one way or another.
Correct.
You see? And often when they go to professionals and they use the word autism and they tell the parents, your child is autistic, parents freak out. You see, then they go and look through the internet, check out on what autistic is, and you know, they really do not know what to do. I mean, I've had parents who come to me and said, you know, this child has been diagnosed as autistic. So I said, what is autistic is just a name. I said, let's see the child and let's work with the child and see what the problems are. Invariably, it is that they don't sit in one place. You see, that is not autistic. That is because they don't have attention. You see, and if they don't have attention, they can't go to school and sit at a desk and on a chair and at a desk and for half an hour and concentrate on a class.
How can you sort of guide them and sort of bring them onto this track where they can sit through a 30-minute class?
Of course. We have our own methods,
okay,
which we have created through the years and tested. It's tested for 56 years, you see, and it has worked. And it's a miracle. I mean, the other day I had a 14-year-old girl who came to me. I mean, she had a hearing impairment and didn't have hearing aids. but the mother wanted her to talk. So I said, why do you want her to talk? You see, I mean, because everybody else is talking. So I said, talking what? Rubbish. Talking about this one and that one and everything else. I mean, there are so many things she can do without talking, isn't it? So anyway, I gave them the option of going and getting a hearing aid. But in the meantime, I gave her, because she had no attention at all and she would not listen to the parents at all. I gave her the program that we do, which we call dot to dot. And that's basically just using the 3 meals, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Nothing in between the meals except for water or a juice or milk or whatever, you see. No solids. And I thought, well, she will come with the hearing aid and she will take a long time. But you know, she listened. The mother was so keen on doing something with this child, and she had another habit of sucking her thumb 24 hours of the day. And at 14, to stop that is near impossible, you see. So when I gave her this feeding program, she carried it out 100%, right? Eventually, she did come in about 3 weeks' time with a hearing aid that didn't fit the child, but that was okay. But the child sat in front of me for half an hour or more, and she never put the thumb in the mouth. So I said, you followed the feeding program? Madam, I did everything you told me to do. You see? And she said, I have noticed a difference. Now she's cleaning all the onions they need for the house,
Because she's
peeling
become so...
potatoes. You see, so she's using her hands. So thumb has no need to go into the mouth, no?
Yeah. What would you tell parents who are in denial about their kids if they do have something that they see, that they feel? What should they keep in mind?
You see, they are in denial. You have to ask yourself the question, why are they in denial? They are in denial because so-and-so says that you have a child like this and their child is not like that. I mean, who cares? Their child is different to your child. You see, you can't compete with somebody else. You have to be yourself. You see? Or they keep hitting the child. Do you know why you hit a child? Okay, you give me that answer. I'm giving you a question. Can you get up and hit me now?
No.
No. Why?
I don't want to.
Because you're not angry with me.
Yes.
If you lose your temper with me, you get up and hit me. Okay? The person who is hit doesn't benefit by it. You see? But the person who is hitting benefits because they
let
their steam off. So I tell them, don't hit the child, hit the ball. When your hand hurts, then you will stop. You see, it's so bad to hit a child. They have never been hit.
I have, of course, got a shot or two.
No, because if you have been hit, then you become a hitter. You see? And if they have parents, the father who hits the mother, you can be sure the child will grow up, get married and hit the wife. There's no question about it.
It's all, that's why they say early education is everything. All right. It's time for a break. When we do come back, we're going to be looking at some of these amazing photographs that I was able to find on social media, and let's come to know about those stories. Moments are always priceless when you have a MasterCard in your hand. Make transactions so much more easier, make all those romantic evenings so much more pleasant. Thank you to our friends who make moments last forever. MasterCard joining us on the show, and at the same time, their promotion and some great deals that you can follow. You can now follow them on their social handles for more details. And so we have photographs. If you do remember that song, let's get physical, physical, I wanna get physical. It's actually set in this kind of a look. Do you remember? This is actually one of my favorite photographs. For what was this? Was it a...
It was for a model shoot, because actually one of my part-time jobs was also to teach aerobics.
Oh, really?
At that time, yeah.
We have been very entrepreneurial, huh?
In my early 20s. So it was during a fashion shoot, and that was one of the outfits.
And in the 80s, this whole home videos and all were so in fashion, like
and this headband.
headband and luminous
so
colors.
Fashionable.
Yeah, and back then people worked out in makeup.
Yeah.
Tell me about this photograph. Are you here?
Yeah.
The
I'm
little one?
next to the doggies. And my dogs Pip and Patty.
Ah, both of them are there.
Yeah, they're both there.
What
They
are
were my
they?
First dogs. The one was a Cocker Spaniel, and the other one, not sure. I think it was a cross of something. Not
And
sure.
do you remember where this was?
It was, I think, in our garden or in our house or somewhere.
It's outside the
Yeah, in
the
the
house.
house.
I can't imagine Otara smiling like this now.
Yeah, with my father.
Well, which year?
That would have been maybe late 80s, probably. Yeah.
You all were overseas?
Yeah, somewhere. Actually, I'm not sure where, but it was. The smile was different.
Very much put together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with my mom. Yeah.
This was the New York trip, no?
No, that was, I don't know. I'm not sure where, but it was
In the 80s again?
like late 80s. Yeah.
Is this Reebok that you're wearing? The jacket? They became 2 lines to 3 lines, right?
No, it was nothing. Like, I don't know. It was just some unknown.
Just wanted to like do full research. I'm like, yeah, let's get into
I don't
it.
think we were into all the brands. Oh, that's my parents on their wedding day.
Do you remember what year was this?
56.
1956. And how tall was he?
My dad was about 5 foot
5'8"
9.
or 9,
Yeah.
no?
But he looks tall
Yeah,
in
he looks taller.
photographs.
Yeah.
That's my mother with I think her first grandson.
Yours? No.
No, not mine.
Your brothers?
My brothers. I think, right? I think.
I think this is. Isn't this one of Kiran or Rakil?
Not sure. It's not so clear. Could be. Can't
Yeah.
see. Yeah, it could be actually. Anyway, one of the grandsons. She has 6 grandsons.
I think these were the pictures that went really viral during the
Yeah.
early 2000s.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's with my 2 boys, Rakil and Kiran.
Are you still the same size?
Probably not. I'm actually probably a little bit bigger.
And you've lost more.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That was my dog, Boots. So when I was younger, I actually had a lot of, the dogs I had were pedigree dogs. Of course, in those days, the pedigree dogs were not bought, like they were in houses. Like
Yeah.
we used to visit homes, and And
they were
then-
given more love and
yeah,
care.
and they were not in cages or pet shops or anything like that, like it is now. So this was during that time, and of course I moved
So
on to
cute
my
he is.
wonderful street dog since then, and I love them so much.
She never played with dolls.
Well, why? Because when you have the real ones,
No, no, she used to have stuffed animals all over her bed.
just to, yeah. You know, sometimes you will be surprised the amount of pedigree dogs that have been so abused, and you'll always ignore them thinking, oh, they're pedigrees, they'll always get a good home. They have it worse than
Yeah.
sometimes the
No.
street pooches, because those ones on the road have peace,
Yeah.
they are happy under a tree, and
They can run around.
yeah, and they can chill and go to sleep, but these ones have been just
Yeah.
traumatized.
Very true.
And look at this. She
Yeah.
could have been swan laking her way.
That was from, I was practicing at home from, it was the ballet Little Mermaid.
Right,
and
okay.
I was the Little Mermaid. It was in Auntie Usha's production.
Ah, okay.
I used to go to her dance school, and so that was me being the Little Mermaid.
You were not a teen at this time, or were you a teen?
I was a teen, yeah.
I robbed these pictures off your page. You have been documenting these, and I thought for those who are not following you to take a look at these. Well, remarkable. I could call you Auntie, you know. Auntie, thanks for coming on the show. Absolutely amazing. I really hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, it was. Actually, I sort of expected it to be far more stressed out.
No. But I just wanted, I'm so happy that you came on the show, because you have done remarkable work for so many, and a lot of people have you in their minds. They have changed their lives, the way they think, their family's equation, so much when it comes to helping a child. And I really wanted to speak about that. And when I saw the fact that you celebrated 90, and I called Otara and I was like, my God, we need to have the two of you. It'll be so much fun. And I'm so happy that I was able to do it. And a happy 90th, and many, many, many more
Thank you.
amazing years ahead.
Not many more.
Well, thank you so very
Thank you.
much. Lovely
Thank
having
you
you on the
for
show,
having
Otara.
us, yeah.
Thanks for bringing your mom. But one thing
Most
is, if you
welcome.
message Otara, she will reply. That is actually an amazing quality. So thank you for being
Thank
here.
you for having us.
We need to wrap things up on the show. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again. Till then, you keep smiling.